Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Raising Excellence. This is the teaser for Wednesday's big show. And today with me, this is Michael. Hello. And with me today are my fabulous co hosts, Agnieszka,
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Dennis, our
Yes,
Freedom Facilitator,
blessed love and greetings, beautiful people.
and and one of our guests from last week. And I think he's going to continue on with us for Wednesday's show, Lee, our Wayfinder.
Thank you for the warm welcome. Happy to be here.
Okay, so today's teaser show in regards to Wednesday's show is going to be about, or the title of the show is Two Steps Back, Three Leaps Forward. We're going to talk a little bit about what we've learned over this past crazy year, and then we're going to project into the future. We're going to be proactive and talk about what we're going to do for next year to impact the world in a positive way. But who wants to lead off with uh, talking about what we're going to do in regard to talking about the past year?
Well, I'll come up with a few things, a few looking backward, stepping back and looking back over the past year. There have been quite a few really interesting situations and things that happened for me individually, and so I'll see which ones of them I'll be able to share, and it is certainly something that I would like to review, and in order to project myself forward into the new year. And I think it's a good exercise at this time of the year to just review and see what went well, what could have gone better, and also to take self responsibility for the things that happen to us, for the people that come into our life, and give thanks, be grateful for that, even if sometimes it's harsh and if it doesn't seem like 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 good luck at the time. But that even more encourages me to look at it and say, okay, how can I use this, and how can I learn from that? How can I use that as a stepping stone to step forward, and how can I use that to propel myself, to exceed, and to move forward towards my path of individual freedom and liberation, and ideally inspire others also along the path. Is there anything you would want to share, or anything that stood out for you individually, Agnieszka, that you have in mind already for Wednesday? And it's Wednesday, 11:30 p.m. Berlin, Amsterdam time. What time is it going to be in Mexico?
4:30 p.m. Central.
Yes.
What time is it going to be in Taiwan, Lee?
It's going to be 6:30 a.m. on the 31st of December.
Nice.
Wow.
What
We've
dedication.
got the whole planet covered.
Mm-hmm. Totally, with this crew.
But Agnieszka, what are you bringing to the table as far as lessons learned or things from this past year?
So it's interesting because the whole situation seemed to enclose us and tighten the grip on our personal freedoms, I guess, personal possibilities. And so I, as usual, rebelled against it and moved to a different country and moved houses a few times this year, and just being brave, being brave. And I think that's a real big lesson for me, because even if things don't work out exactly how you expect them, they're still beautiful, and there's still beauty in every situation that we can bring forward and learn from and really gain strength out of. And I think that's really important. So that would be my message.
All right. Well, I think for me, I mean, I think I've learned a great deal this year. In fact, I think this has been my most definitely the year I've learned the most. In fact, I feel like I've learned more this past year than I've learned the rest of my life. And there's a great deal of lessons I've learned this year. And certainly, working with you guys was definitely one of those key things that made a big difference. But I, honestly, I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about because there were a lot of things that I learned this year. Sometimes they were like a lot more obvious than I wanted them to be. But I do think that one of the things that is really important is the mindset towards problems is really about, like a lot of people run from problems, but the truth is there's opportunity in problems, and probably the greatest opportunities come from problems. So if you take the attitude that, hey, here's a problem, that sounds like a great opportunity, you're probably going to have a lot better outcome than if you're like, oh God, not another problem. And I think that's kind of what I want to take into the future, is that idea that, like, if you're aggressively proactive when it comes to the life that you want to live, you can get it. You can manifest the life that you want for the future, and it's just about your determination. How about you, Lee? You got anything to add?
I also learned a great deal in this year, 2020, and I appreciate you, 2020, and all the people I've come into contact with, especially within the meetings within the autonomy program. I'm a graduate now of Autonomy Season 4, and this is the graduation that has mattered most to me in my life in regards to education, a course, and a program, and learning. What you said about evaluating these challenges, these problems, and viewing them as opportunities, I can also use that to look at my skills. Do I have the skills necessary to solve this problem? I perhaps see a problem, I'm seeking a solution. Maybe I need to get a few more skills. Maybe this is preparing me for similar problems that I can get skills ready for. So when those come around, I'll be ready, very ready to go. There's a video I watched from 1962, I believe, Napoleon Hill being discussing his psycho-cybernetics and how people inform their realities and internal scarring, so to speak, and how that can be removed. And then so they appreciate and love themselves with that internal scarring, internal dialogue gone. And they talk about it in regards to that as clearing the calculator to zero to reset, and then it can be useful again. And I think I'm going to do that too. You're encouraging me to look at what I've learned from this year. I appreciate that.
Well, that was really a buzzword, and we if it wouldn't have been for the premature cutting off of last show, then that was a plan to go into that, the whole reset thing, because that's a buzzword that's going around the world, and it's probably not going around the world in a sense that is beneficiary for all of us or for most of us. And therefore, like, I would like to go a little more into that. What does that mean on an individual level, to look at the year, to look back, and to also look forward, and to see how how are we going to reset our own individual life, and how also as Raising Excellence and as humanity, we could use this point of time to to do our own reset, the greater reset. That's something we discussed a little while ago as well. And how can we use the consciousness, the awareness, the life experience, and our skills that we have gathered so far in this life to be the best that we can be for ourselves, but for everyone around us as well. And I have this picture of in my mind, like a reset. Lee, you just said a clock or a timer, or like even a technical device, an electronic device that you can factory reset, and you push this little button, and then it goes back to how it was supposedly from the factory. And of course, if we say like we reset ourselves, then it's like, it's like I can't go back to factory, because if we right now push the reset for ourselves, that doesn't mean we go all the way back, because we consciously and with awareness we're doing the reset. So it's not it doesn't, to me, it doesn't mean to wipe off everything that we have gathered, and the skills and experiences and the awareness that we have gathered, but it means to consciously go back to a point where we leave maybe the negative associations or the things that are holding us back, where we go back to a state which is actually not going back, but it's actually leaping forward. So it might be contradictory, but it's like, okay, a reset, a means to go back, but sometimes by taking two steps back, we're actually setting up ourselves for the big leap or the 3 leaps forward. And so it's about identifying, for me right now, it's identifying, okay, which things did not go right, where do I need to focus more, on what, holistically speaking, on what level, on the physical level, on the emotional, on the intellectual, on the spiritual level, where will I benefit from, taking a step back, identifying the things, that is maybe, is maybe luggage or baggage that I don't want to carry around anymore, and get rid of those, and then, be equipped, and be strong to take a big leap, to take 3 leaps forward in the next year. So that's what I'm looking forward to, sharing and hearing also from you. And I would love to add to that, of course, we want to encourage, as always, our listeners, to give their input and to share their experience as well, and to
wow. I guess Michael's equipment has failed.
Nice one. So yeah, looking forward to
he's reconnected. Sorry.
Looking forward to hear from you 3, and also from our listeners, and as always, they can steer our discussions, they can ask questions, and share some of their leaps, of their projected leaps forward, but also of the the stepping back and the looking back on in the previous year.
One more thing that I wanted to add to your reset conversation. I think that a lot of this year we've been pulled back and held back through the situation, the way it is, has been. But this reset, this new way of thinking, new way of being that I would like to encourage and support and instill in others is the truly loving each other, like elevating each other with every opportunity, with every interaction, to really help other people, or not help other people, but to make other people feel loved. Whatever you're doing, whatever your action is, it should. See, I'm because it's hesitant to use the word should, but I think it behooves us. It's a good idea for every action that we take with other people, or everything that we say or do for other people, for it to be elevating, uplifting, helpful, and beneficial, right? As opposed to the opposite. So really encouraging the world and people to be loving toward each other in the deepest way, meaning of that word.
Sounds like an exciting show is coming up on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it. And also, of course, looking forward to hear more from you, Lee. And to make up for last week when we got cut off. So let's hope
on this week. Michael couldn't hear over my headphones.
It's going to be great.
He could not.
We welcome Planet Earth and those who have yet to arrive, who have yet to be born. We welcome all of them to your show. Is that not so?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, to add, Michael?
I got lost because of the malfunction and everything. But as far as the time is concerned, I think we're on time to call it. So let's just do that. Look forward to seeing everybody on Wednesday. And is there anything else anybody wants to add? Let's just do that here.
We're ready for Wednesday. Tune in on Wednesday.
All right. Talk to you on Wednesday then. Thank you so much for tuning in.